What a day for a day. We are back with our $20 bangers. I made this series. I want to have cards that are excellent in terms of investability. So something that's potentially scarce, something that's going to be in higher demand in the future than it currently is. And most importantly, cards that look nice. So I'm always looking for cards that I personally would hold in the collection. Some of these cards today I have in my collection, some of them I don't. I will be transparent as far as which ones I do and which ones I don't. And you can make your own decision if they're worth buying or whether I'm just a shill on the internet. So, without any further ado, my first one is a bit of a no-brainer pick, the stamped Reshiram from the box topper for Journey Together. Reshiram's a popular enough Pokemon in of itself. We also have N in the photo, who's one of the most popular trainers, at least on the male side. He is Wesley. Oh my god, you can't keep doing this, dude. Hey? Brutal cut off there by the cat. A phone fell on the floor. Not good. Anyways, Journey Together, N's Reshiram. These box toppers, I think, are going to be interesting because I was under the impression that they were going to do more of these and that we were going to start to see more of these box toppers. And the fact that it was only in Mega Evolution base set and in Journey Together is interesting. Journey Together being a relatively mediocre set in the grander scheme of the options out there, meaning that this is a cheap card for the time being, is awesome. The reason I like this card is they're readily available. So at shows, you'll see a lot of these. There's quite a few available on TCG Player in about $20 price range. This is in USD. Is a really good opportunity to pick those up. I do have numerous of these. So I have probably around 8 to 10 of these. So full transparency, I've been buying these specifically. I wanted to get a case of the enhanced booster boxes, but there's been some better deals that have taken precedent, so I haven't got that at this point in time. Next one, Snorlax Trainer Gallery Lost Origin. So typically I'm looking for cards that haven't moved a lot in recent time. This one has, so this one's done well in the last year, but I still think it's got a lot of room to grow. Snorlax is undefeated. Snorlax, as it ages, without fail, they go up in value. You get something as good as this one, where it's Snorlax, Malin down. I think it's a fantastic photo. It's a relatively rare card, so these weren't super easy to pull. And on top of that, I just think that there's Lost Origin such a good set that's going to continue to hang on to that probably third place spot in the Sword and Shield era. So regardless, you do what you will with this information. I think this is a fantastic pickup still at that $23 range. It could come down a little bit, but I don't see any major downward movement, and I can see this being a $100 card in a couple years, if that. So next one, I have kind of two bundled together here because I think they're really interesting. From one of my favorite sets personally, there's the Galarian, Moltres, and Articuno. So these are both $20 and $15, give or take. These are legendary birds, obviously not in their traditional form, which is why these haven't necessarily done as well as you would expect from a, a legendary bird like this. Regardless, they're relatively protected downside. The arts are just wonderful on these, so I think they're super pretty to look at. And in terms of what this has to offer going forwards, I think that people will look fondly onto this type of card when we get 3-4 years down the line. So this is a little bit of a longer term play. Galarian Pokemon aren't hugely popular with people who have the money right now, but it can be something that'll be sentimental to those that are coming into their spending years. So something to consider. Do what you will with these, as always. The next one, this is a no-brainer for me, the Latias from Crown Zenith. Keep an eye on these types of cards. There's a number of these in Crown Zenith. There's a number of these in the trainer galleries where you get a popular Pokemon, you get a unique art style. They're relatively rare, so these aren't super easy to pull, but the hype around Latias is going to continue to grow. I think we're going to see the Surging Sparks one, the chase card, do really well over the next 2 years. And when that starts to move, I think this one's going to follow alongside it in a very similar percentage growth way. Um, Regardless, I think you're in a safe spot with this at that $18 mark. And if you can get your hands on numerous of these, that's your best bet. Like everything else in this video, it needs to be near mint. So going for lightly played, going for anything worse than near mint is not going to yield the best results longer term. You're not going to find grading plays for the most part in this market. Grading's quite expensive if you're buying from somebody else, especially in the case of like a box topper or these types of cards that have high PSA 10 values. You're not gonna find a card that's realistically worth grading. If you want to have it graded for your own sake, then awesome. But if you're trying to make money, there's probably not much of a grading play to be made at this point in time. Next one, I've heard this one echoed a number of times by a number of different people. I am talking, of course, about the Piplup from Phantasmal Flames. Obviously, one of the more popular starters from early generations. I think that this one's a very pretty art. It stands out, so you'll notice all these picks are unique in some way. I think that's relevant. I think it's what's going to cause people to pick it out of a list or off of a table, that sort of thing. Going forward, I think uniqueness is incredibly important. So Piplup in its element, just a really nice looking card. And Phantasmal Flames is doing well as a set, and this one's going to most likely run right alongside with the growth of the set and the growth of some of the other big chase cards in this set. My last pick of the day, and I will stand by these until the sky falls, is the Giratina from Ultra Prism. So these Ultra Prism rares I think are super interesting. They are the only card, as far as I'm aware, that actually have a symbol in their name. So outside of the gold stars, of course, from 2005, 2006, I don't think that these are comparable to gold stars, but I think that, like I say, the level of how unique these are and the fact that there's realistically only 2 to maybe 3 of these that people are going to be looking for. That being, in my opinion, Giratina, the Darkrai, and the Celebi. I can see some popularity around in the future. Maybe there's some room for like the Solgaleo and those other ones to do well, but realistically, I don't see it happening. These cards aren't super rare, which is a benefit because you can pick these up pretty easily. And I'm confident that this Giratina at some point in time will shoot up to that $50 range in a hurry because there are not that many of these on the market, right? So if somebody decides to do a buyout of these and the next people come to put their cards up, they're going to list it a little bit higher and so on. So because there's so I don't want to say so few, like this is some super exclusive rare card, because there's enough of them that people will be able to get it still. So that's why I want you to keep your eye on these. There's a lot of super highly rare cards that are good pickups, but they're not easy to get. So because this is still relatively easy to get, it comes in at that $20, sometimes under range. I think this is a fantastic one to pick up in your mint. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff. We are sponsored by Shaman Games. That's our business. So if you are looking to buy anything, we have a coupon code in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to